Enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. So in this short session, perhaps this would be a good time to see if you can rest still the body, and still the mind in the sense that you will just rest your awareness on the mind and its content as it unfolds. The simple distinction is that normally when the mind is moving, we call it a distraction or a compromise to our meditation. So in this instance, if you can rest your awareness on the flow of the mind's appearances, with as little or no commentary as possible. Just stay with that flow, non-conceptually, just experientially until the end of this session. And one last instruction can be so important. You can stop the meditation numerous times in the next
20 minutes to half an hour, just for a few moments, maybe even 15 or 20 seconds, and then begin fresh. Stopping it means just removing all effort to engage in the meditation. So things like distractions may or may not arise, but nothing to do about them. And then after a while, half a minute or so, start the session fresh. And then again, after a while, just relax, let the meditation go, and after another period, begin again fresh. Continue like that for the duration. This method works better than a long, continuous session when you're trying to follow the appearances of the mind. Virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
I think we're good. Okay.
Santyadams, deities of the mandala, Buddhas of the 3 times and the 10 directions of your children, consider me with kindness. Grant your blessing that all my wishes be realized. Sprung from the snow mountain of the pure actions and intentions, mine and those of all sentient beings without limit, may the river of virtue, undefiled by the 3 spheres, flow into the ocean of the 4 bodies of Buddha. As long as I have not realized this, through all my lifetimes, birth after birth, may not even the words for defilement and suffering be heard, and may I enjoy the prosperity of oceans of happiness and virtue. Having obtained this excellent, free, and well-favored life, along with faith, energy, and intelligence, having attended a worthy master and received the sacred instructions, may I practice the sacred Dharma properly in all my lives without interruption. The study of Scriptures frees one from the veil of ignorance. The contemplation of oral instructions overcomes the darkness of doubt. Light-born meditation illuminates the way things are. May the radiance of the 3 wisdoms increase. The significance of the ground is the 2 truths, free from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. The excellent path, the 2 accumulations, free from the extremes of assumption and denial. The result obtained is the 2 benefits, free from the extremes of existence and peace. May I meet the Dharma which is free from error. The ground of refinement is mind itself, invisible luminosity and emptiness. The refining, the great Vajra composure of Mahamudra. What is to be refined, the incidental stains of confusion. The result of refining is instinct Dhammakaya. Realize it. Confidence in outlook is cutting assumptions about the mind. The key to meditation is maintaining that without distraction. The supreme activity is to exercise the sense of meditation in everything. May I have confidence in outlook, meditation, and activity. All dharmas are projections of the mind. As for mind, there is no mind. Mind's nature is empty. Empty and immediate, mind appears as everything. Investigating it well, may I settle the basic points. Appearances which never existed in themselves have been confused as objects. Awareness itself, because of ignorance, has been confused as the self. Through the power of dualistic fixation, I wander in the realm of existence. May ignorance and confusion be completely resolved. It doesn't exist, even Buddhas do not see it. It does not exist, it is the origin of samsara and nirvana. No contradiction, conjunction, the middle way. May I realize the pure being of mind, free of extremes. If one says it is this, nothing has been posited. If one says it is not this, nothing has been denied. Uncontrived pure being transcends intellect. May I gain conviction in the ultimate position. Not realizing it, one circles in the ocean of samsara. Realizing it, Buddha isn't anywhere else. It is everything, it is anything, none of this. Pure being, the basis of everything, may I see and misunderstanding here. Since appearance is mind and emptiness is mind, since realization is mind and delusion is mind, since arising is mind and cessation is mind, may all assumptions about mind be eliminated, unpolluted by meditation with intellectual office, undisturbed by the winds of everyday affairs, not manipulating, knowing how to let what is true be itself. May I become skilled in this practice of mind and maintain it. The waves of subtle and coarse thoughts calm down in their own ground. Motionless, the river of mind abides naturally. Free from the contaminations of dullness and torpor, may I establish the still ocean of shamatha. When one
looks again and again at the mind which cannot be looked at, and sees vividly for what it is, the meaning of not seen. Doubts about the meaning of is and is not are resolved. Without confusion may my own face know itself. Looking at objects, there is no object, one sees mind. Looking at mind, there is no mind, it is empty of nature. Looking at both of these, dualistic clinging subsides on its own. May I realize sheer clarity of the way mind is. Free from mental constructions, it is called Mahamudra. Free from extremes, it is called Madhyamaka. Everything complete here is also called Mahati. May I attain the confidence that in understanding one, all are realized. The great bliss of non-attachment is continuous. Sheer clarity without fixations is free of obscurations. Passing beyond intellect, non-thought is naturally present. May these experiences continually arise without effort. Attachment to good and fixation on experience subside on their own. Confusion and evil concepts are cleared away in the realm of ultimate nature. In the ordinary mind there is no rejection or acceptance, no separation or attainment. May I realize the truth of pure being, complete simplicity. While the nature of beings has always been full enlightenment, not realizing this, they wander in endless samsara. For the boundless suffering of sentient beings, may overwhelming compassion be born in my being. While such compassion is active and immediate, in the moment of compassion its essential emptiness is nakedly clear. This conjunction is the undeviating supreme path. Inseparable from it may I meditate day and night. From the power of meditation come eyes and actual knowledge. Sentient beings are ripened in domains of enlightenment refined. Aspirations for the realization of all aspects of Buddhahood are fulfilled. May I complete these three, fulfillment, ripening, and refinement, and become Buddha. By the compassion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and the power of whatever pure virtue there may be, may my wishes and those of all beings be fulfilled as we ask in this way. Thank you. Oh, nice. Thanks, Miriam.
You're welcome. Sorry I was a little rusty. I haven't...
Sorry for what?
For my existence, usually. But,
let's just cut to the chase here.
Sorry, I'm breathing. Anyway, go on. But I was given some very pithy but short instructions about doing OMSI for all day sit, and so I was expecting you to do all the banging and whoops.
Hardly even noticed.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
You better go back to
being sorry about your existence, because it's vague, but it's more convincing than this notion that you actually screwed up with the homicide.
I don't know, some of us disagree with you.
I don't think
Some of us
either.
are happy at your existence.
Thank you.
So there you go.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm even happy with my own. I'm very happy with yours.
Okay.